Morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Let's join quickly. We have so many things to discuss today. The tricks, whatever we covered so far, and the new tricks that will improve your development skills and which will save your uh, debugging time. Mostly, what happens sometimes, even as a developer, we are not able to attach our source code and how we can quickly debug. Main thing is it is not like we can complete our task. Main thing is that we have to complete our task in a lesser time, so that our end user or end customer, they will not suffer. So let's discuss how we can save our time here and how to utilize our best possible solution, so that we should not waste our time for spending multiple things here. Hope everyone understand this point. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So do you have anything that you need my attention first? Where are others? They are not able to join. I can see least participant here. Or you become a pro. You need not to discuss more things here. Like, even if you are good to get data from dataverse, this is very important things for everyone, so that at least we can cover our basic pain area. Like every developer, they may face similar issues. Have you tried those query like we did? Please list the XRM toolbox plugins that are used by developers. I will tell you how to use that XRM toolbox control, that particular you know tools or uh, items which we supposed to use, or you want me to explain some another things, just clarify. So we have two things. Either we can export our plugin registration tool or that CRM SDK, and we can utilize our XRM toolbox, that plugin registration tool. Or the second things, we can export XRM toolbox. Inside XRM toolbox, we have multiple different tools, and we can utilize plugin registration tool inside the XRM toolbox only. But if we need to debug and we need to attach our code, so we have to use plugin registration tool. Either we need to use some tracing component, some tracing profiles, so that we can get the result. Like during debugging, we are getting multiple things. Good morning. So are we good? Yeah, yeah. Ask your question. I'm happy to get multiple questions from your side. Why? Because if you have some doubt, it means you are trying. I want to ask, when will opportunity the fresher open? Right now, I am checking on LinkedIn and Naukri, but everywhere they are asking for 5 to year of experience. That is the real pain, brother. Are these any chance for fresher opportunity? And according to you, how long might it take for such opportunity to open? My recommendation here: keep trying multiple places and try to upgrade your skills so that even if you are getting any single opportunity, so you can grab it. Don't look very, you know, in terms of the package, in terms of the money that you are getting. The main concern or main agenda should be your exposure and your learning part. If you are main focusing on your skill set, your learning part, initial 1 or 2 year, that you need not to worry. If you have that knowledge or skills, that you will get a very good job. Even you can survive in the market. Some of the candidate, even now in a day, they are utilizing different AI tools to even grab different jobs, but they are not able to survive. They are struggling even to do basic things. So what happen after few days, they may, quote like, hey, this is fake candidate, he is not able to perform the action. See, grid level control, this is server side code. So how you can control something with the help of, we cannot control, everything with a plugin. For doing something, we need to perform user level code here. That's the reason. Or you identify something like, we can control that one, just let me know. And even how you can, we may have different even option, like even sometimes, I don't know, even we can check from the different AI tools. They have very bigger library. Maybe there might be some different approach we can identify, but I don't think so. With the help of plugin code, we can control locking, unlocking parts. Why? Because if we, either we can create, we are creating a control like PCF control. So in PCF control, with the help of our code level, we can control, like we can hide this field, we can lock this field, we can do multiple things. But at the control level, if we are performing something, till the time we are not overriding that control, we don't have that option to perform that option in the editable grid. Is that fine? So let me know if you have different types of requirement. Even we can discuss that one. Are you able to see my screen? So related to the job or the freshers, even main agenda here is to get more knowledge. Then you can, you know, get more option, more opportunity. There are multiple drives for freshers, but they are expecting different skills. And even for freshers, actually they are hiring for, showing the buffers, like what buffer we have. And mostly they are very big company, they are hiring freshers for support kind of project only. So even if you got chance even to work with but very big MNC, you have limited option even to learn something. Even after 2 year, 3 year, or 5 year, you will not get, sufficient information or sufficient knowledge so that you can survive into the market as a developer. So that's the reason, even if you got the job but you are not getting work in proper place, so it's very difficult even to learn something new. So so yesterday, you covered everything, or do you have anything to ask, or any query, any problem you have received? PCF control works. Can you show how PCF level control works? See, even you developed something out of the, see what is PCF control, or suppose HTML control. I have showcased, like if I want to create a custom HTML grid. Suppose I want to replace, even I have done similar things. So what happened? One of my previous project, one of very big project, they want to ask me to, filtered third level of option. Suppose I will give you one example. Based on the country, I need to filter state, and based on the state, I need to filter cities. That should be under editable subgrid, but that is not possible even in out of the box capability. So what I have done, I have created a complete custom HTML, which will give opportunity to even bind different option set based on the parent selected record. I'm selecting that one, and even I have completely replaced out of the box editable grid to custom HTML grid. So what I have done, because in that particular control I have complete control, because I have complete source code. I can perform any logic. Suppose someone say, hey, if suppose if country is outside of India, you have to lock your city or state. I can do that because I have complete source code for that one. Similarly, you have PCF control, you have TypeScript or any other React code. So in that one, because you are creating that PCF control from scratch, so you have everything related to that PCF control. So you can change that control. I can show you even how to even change that control. If you want to change something, is there any solution? Let me quickly showcase that one, and then we will move into the remaining part. Suppose here we have a lead. Can Let's open a form here. Suppose sales inside. I just want to open. Suppose this is the first name. I want to change some additional control here. So how I can do that one? It is taking some extra time. That is the behavior actually here now in a day. Okay, let's open here. So this is the native form here. So suppose if you want to change here some additional control, yeah, we can open that. It is loading like anything. Here, let me open this one. This is the home property. If we want to change the control here, where it is? Do you remember where we are adding that option? We are changing the control actually. Not able to recall where it is. Where inactive. This is the layout. Suppose it should have somewhere here only. So in that particular control, you have option even to change the. This is the handler here. Business will also find in property hide lock. This is the layout component. Yes, it should be here. So suppose in this particular place, either you can add any component here which is supported by this text box. So in the component side, suppose if there are many component or control available in here in the system even. Suppose I want to add a different control. This is default control, so I can add here any control here. Suppose I can get some more control, or I have written or I have developed any pcf control, so it will display here based on the data type here. So suppose I want to add here this particular pcf control. What is the name of this one? Rich text editor. So I can add here, so I can even add those one. It will be available web, mobiles and tables also. So I can add, and I can even save it, save and publish it, lead level. So likewise we can change that one, and we can showcase that new control here. So similarly we can develop any pcf control and we can showcase that. We can do. Once it is published, we can see the new here control. Earlier it was the normal text box. So some of the PCF control or other different types of controls are available here as out of the box, but even we can change it. We can create our own control here. See here. There is something, some issue even in this particular one. Job title, where we have added in which form. So here in this particular field, we can see the different control here. Got it? Hey Pratik, good morning. There is something even in the form level. See here, you can even design this particular control. This is new rich text control now. Right now you can design this one. You can even add some different types of images. Even you can create a HTML here inside this one. So likewise you can do. Okay, now comes into the C sharp and plugin code related item. So yesterday we already covered how to retrieve data with the help of query expression, with the help of direct retrieval option, and even here we have retrieved this particular data. So in that case, we know how to retrieve data, how to even perform a for each loop. So we understand how to hold some data even in variables, and even which types of variables we have to retrieve, we have to hold. Suppose here, if we have utilized here retrieve multiple, so you can see there is a cursor here. You can see here what is the return type here. Here you are able to see in that particular tooltip entity collection is equal to service client dot retrieve multiple. It means the return type of this out of the box function is entity collection. So some of the candidate, it's very difficult sometimes. Hey, what is the output here? What types of here variable I need to declare so that I can hold that information here. I was also, sometimes getting very confused, like, hey, this is the variable here, so I need to define here entity or entity collection. When I have to define entity, when I have to define entity collection, that is the major confusion sometimes. So you have to clear those points very clearly. If this particular function whatever you are calling, so if it is a entity collection, so suppose if it is a retrieve, so it will here, maybe here we have different input parameter, but here in this particular function the return type, here you are able to see entity retrieve service client dot retrieve, it will return as a entity only. Entity means it will return a unique record here. Unique record means, unique record means I will retrieve a unique information for a specific record. It means we are retrieving data based on the record GUID. Record GUID means what if we have, we know if we are retrieving data from contact, it means we are retrieving based on the contact ID. It means it will return here entity. And if we may suspect like a we may retrieve more than one record. For example, I will give you very basic or very generic example. Suppose you all know, like we or our government are maintaining our Aadhaar number. Aadhaar number is there. So Aadhaar number is a unique identifier. This should be a unique number, system is not accepting duplicate number. That is confirmed. That's the reason if we are searching information like, hey, retrieve the candidate which is having name as Sunil Kumar. So from that Aadhaar database, I can retrieve so many people. It means we may have more than one record, but because system is having unique identifier, if I'm try to retrieve information based on the unique number, it means Aadhaar number. So if I'm try to search that record into the system with unique number means Aadhaar number, it will return a single record or it will return a blank record. Maybe suppose if someone try to fetch data from any banking system like, hey, retrieve this particular candidate information with the name, with the help of this Aadhaar card. So if they have any constraints like one Aadhaar, they can open only one account. So either they can identify, they can get only one single record or a unique record. If they are maintaining unique number at GUID, so that's the reason here if we may suspect like we may get more than one record, so we are storing this one as a entity collection. So what is entity collection here? So entity, you know, the what is the collection of this particular entity? Entity means this variable holding all information related to one entity. Suppose if I have defined here entity as new entity as account. This is dynamic representation of or that entity definition. So it means this particular entity once it will execute, it will hold all metadata information related to this particular entity. Metadata means here even in the solution level, if we are checking, we are opening, if we have defined here metadata. Metadata means all the information, all the related information here related to this particular account. So account means, so any field information whatever available here I can showcase here. So if I am telling you account, so not create, add existing columns. So it will hold all the information related to all those fields whatever are available here. So this is a unique record information. So it can hold every information related to this one. So entity account name contain here name, account number, or maybe created on, modified on, all information it will contain related to only one record. But if I have here as a entity collection, so entity collection is similar to this one. I may have here entity one. I'm telling you this information in such a manner so that you should understand this information clearly. So here this entity collection can hold this one entity 1, entity 2 or entity 3. So entity collection is a combination of different set of entities. So it can hold entity 1, entity 2, entity 3. So but how I can retrieve that one? So entity collection, if I need to retrieve this information, so we have created one for each loop here. So where we have created one for each loop related to this one. I can show you where here. So this is the entity collection. So if I need to retrieve entity from this entity collection, so with the help of this for each loop I can read one single record. So because this entity collection is a more than one entity information, so for each and every entity collection, how to do that one? So I can make a loop and I can read entity related information one by one. And also this entity also having multiple field level information. So field level information means in this contact entity I may have mobile number, I may have email id, I may have more information, first name, last name, blah blah, and all information. So likewise I can retrieve all those information. Also, even if we don't have any option that I can here debug this particular code, because in production environment if I need to say someone, suppose any of the interview, suppose someone is asking, hey, we are getting some error in the production environment, but we are not able to retrieve, we are not able to replicate the same issue even in our lower environment. How you debug that particular issue, how to identify, because you cannot debug your plugin in production environment. So what is the process to debug that issue even in production environment? What is your approach? So any idea in my live session, maybe if you have any idea how to debug that one, even because you cannot debug your production code directly. So what is the approach here to debug this information? Yogendra ji not joined today. So how to debug that information? So because we cannot debug that one, so in plugin side we have a option to print the information in our plugin trace. So I will show you like how I can read information. What is the problem? So suppose if I want to check something, even whatever we have written. So there is a option in dynamic CRM. We can trace our lines and we can write into this particular place. Plugin trace log, right? So here I can enable this one across the different environment. Why? Because it is not recommended. We can enable all the trace log even in the production environment. So what we are doing, either we are creating those trace log and we are deleting, we are clean up that information, or we can disable the plugin trace log. How to enable that one? Make sure these types of question maybe I am informing you here, but most of the interviewer they may ask you, hey, in production environment what is the recommended approach to even if if I'm enabling the plugin trace log even in the production environment, so my database size is rapidly increasing. So what is your recommended approach? So you can simply say, I can disable those plugin trace. If needed, I can quickly enable that one, and I can check the trace log. How to do that? The next question is how to enable a plugin trace log. So even in the global side, even in the environment side, if you have a system admin role, system setting, where is system setting? This is personal setting here. So here in this particular place you can check the different. Okay, so where is global system setting? admin level, customization, language, record. These are the commonly asked question in multiple place. Like, because I already told you there are multiple questions comes into this particular section only. Or simply you can ask like how to enable disable the, yeah, auditing also we can enable or disable. In the, where it is, somewhere we have here system settings. And now in a day you should text me like, hey, we have to go into this place, we can enable it. Why I am only need to remember those things? Service management, very system setting. We have those options in two or three place only. These are the financial year related one. Okay, the easiest way here, don't remember even all those things just, but you should know how to enable plugin trace in D365 CRM online. That's it. Site setting, advanced setting, go to setting, administration, system setting. In administration, where is administration? Where is site setting? System setting. Where are system setting here? Because there might be some option are disabled here in trial environment. That's the reason. Journal setting. So here you should have a option to enable the plugin trace log. So we should have a option here, system setting. So there you are able to see this particular screen, but you should have some additional option here. So let me check here. Customization tab. Okay, customization tab. We don't have here in the customization tab. So in that customization tab here, you are able to see that option to enable the tracing here. Then you can see tracing option. Where are those tracing plugin trace? So what you will see, if anyone is having this option even in the trial environment, just paste that screenshot. Otherwise, I will share one of the screenshot from any active account. So here we can see all the trace here. So here I can see like information in the tracing plugin trace log. O- Okay, how to add those tracing here? So once we enable that one, I can see all the successful or either failed record here even in the tracing log. So here like we are adding console dot write line. So we are adding those static information here to get that information. Suppose here, if I want to check something, suppose if I want to check here, console dot write line, console dot write line. So here I can even I can write those information dot to string. What is the purpose of to string here? We are converting this number as a string because this right line will always use to string here. So because I don't want to update this information again and again, I'm going to comment this line so that it will not update. Okay, let's try to see that data, how we can see that one. So F10, F10, F10. So likewise, here we have written something. Similarly, here we have, I can return like how many record I have received. So suppose someone saying, hey, nothing is happening. What to do? So here the collection here is I can see here collection is zero. Then it will not go under this particular loop. So here I can see how many record. Oh, this dot count I need to showcase here. How many record we have. So here dot count, it will return here a number how many record I can see here. F10, F10. So like 10 record, I can see 10 record here. So how many, even if I want to write some additional information like which particular mobile number is updated and what is the number of this particular record, so I can write here multiple logic so that I can print here. So like for example, I can define here outside this particular loop. So integer counter equal to 0. So I can even, once it's done, counter plus plus, it will increase counter, and even I can here write that particular one, right line count here plus this counter. So I can see here like number of record proceed, and also I can even type here mobile, new mobile. So likewise I can add multiple logic here, so I can print this information. So now what I can see, so here what I have done here, this one counter is 1, like one record is successfully proceed. Contact ID also I'm printing here. So likewise second record. So here I can showcase like how many record even I have proceed here. I have option to even print all those information in this particular place. Similarly, if suppose I want to send some information to my, suppose I have 10 million of record, I want to process all those record and I want to proceed every information, and I just want to print all those information in somewhere means it could be inside a notepad or it could be inside any other place. So here I can even process all those information. But even if I have closed this one, so my entire this information may be lost here. So here I have another also option also. Even if I need to print all those information into the notepad. Notepad means whatever I'm doing here, I want to write that information. Whatever information we are writing here in a specific uh, here console. So I want to write all those information in a notepad so that I can open that notepad and even that is called logging mechanism. So we should have a proper logging mechanism so that I can check how many record are proceed and how many record are failed here. So even I can create a separate Excel sheet also, like how many record are proceed here. So that is also called, and we can even create all those information just for auditing purpose or monitoring purpose, so that it is not like every time I'm sitting here and I am monitoring all those information. So that types of implementation even we can do here. So like I will give you some more information here related to, like suppose these are the different option, like we can create different method here, and here I can even call those particular option, I can reutilize those method. So suppose if I want to create a global function where I need to define my method or my function in such a manner, it should be a global entity data. So how to write that particular method? So here entity collection. So here how to define that one? This is the entity string as a name, entity name I can define here, or I can here define a set here, or suppose if I need to retrieve here all the column set information, all the column set information, like I don't want to select here all the information, I don't want to get here information, whatever I have mentioned, but I want to retrieve information like here. So here I can write here some specific field, or I can write here star. So if I need to retrieve all the information here, so I can set here column set equal to true. True means I can retrieve, I have to retrieve all the data. Even if I don't want to retrieve here data here, so let's take help, create a common function here. So go to classic view. Administratively customization. Yeah, we'll check. Even if you have that option, that we can even check that information maybe later. So but let's check here. Try to create your method in such a manner you can reuse those method. So I'll try to create a function where you can even call only a single function and you can get all the data here. I will tell you here how to define those methods as a global method. So let's take help here. No, 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 no. Okay, so let's try to utilize even the same thing here. Here, column set. Okay, so here, entity name here. So let's try to use this and return also. Here we can use, no need to write additional code here also. I will explain you here what I'm trying to utilize here. Here we are saving that information here. Okay, let's call this function here. entity collection equal to service dot entry name here, suppose contact we have written, suppose similar way account level information we are retrieving, and here so what I'm trying to do here. So here, like we have written here as a mutable string as method. So to array we have passed here. So just add here all these method with. So here we have defined here this set of attribute, and fields we have passed here. That's it. So here in account level name, email address and telephone one we have passed here. Also, okay. So now everything is ready. Let's try to debug this part. Now we have written this particular function in such a manner so that we need not to define this function every time. If you have written your code in this manner, so you need not to create this method. So suppose if I have, so here what I have here variable as a account and field here as a, we have three field, name, email address and telephone. So it will return a collection. So here you have received this collection, and you have retrieved all six account and whatever you have passed here. So with the help of this particular method, you have received data. You receive data from account entity. Suppose now I don't require anything. I want to call this some data from contact entity. Okay. So suppose fields contact entity contact. So here I will change here contact entity, and field here will be FIRST, name from contact entity, email address one, telephone. Here we don't have telephone, mobile phone we have. First name, and even I can pass here one another field, last name. So function name is same, but I have passed some different input parameters. So what it will do, it will retrieve all the contact related information and display here. Let's try this one. So one time you have created one function, but you are calling this function for multiple purpose. Here you don't have logical name, which one contact CONTACT entity does not contain attribute name. So name is not there. Okay, we will change name to where is name. Oh, we have to pass this field because we are retrieving that one from contact information. Why you are not telling? Okay, so here I have retrieved this one from with the same function. See here, output you can retrieve from account entity with the same function. Function I am utilizing same, but here what is the change here? The entity name I have passed different one, and related to this particular one I have changed here. Similarly, with the same function, you need not to write every function here. Now you have to retrieve data from lead entity. So what you need here? Field name from lead. Field name from lead. Lead, what we have here? Name. Okay, so you should have that information, like how many field we are having in the lead entity. So in lead entity, you just need to check here, edit filter, name, topic, created on, whatever you want here, download fetch. You can get all the information like full name. Okay, I have full name. I have full name here. Full name. What else you have here? Subject I have. I have subject also. I have company name. Okay, fine. Company name. Okay, I don't want this field. I just want here, this is lead. Now here lead. That's it. And here I have to change this name. So those field I need. So in this particular method, you need, hey, which entity you need data. So in this particular one, you need entity name and you need set of field here. That's it. Any entity. So you have written only one function. This is retrieve multiple. Similarly, you can retrieve data from every entity with this particular method. So here F10, 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 F10. So you have retrieved data from account, you have retrieved data from contact entity. Similarly, you have retrieved data from lead entity. How many function we have created? Only one. So we need that types of coding skills. It is not like for every function I have to write hard code here. So similarly, you, some of the developer, you are creating this function, these types of functions, so nothing needed here. So suppose if you need to retrieve even single retrieve, so similarly what you need here, same thing, you need even retrieve multiple also. So I have created these types of method here. Retrieve multiple, you have, okay, let's create one more function here, copy. This is also I'm creating generic based on record entity data. So here I have to pass here as a, what need to pass, string, and this how many field I need to retrieve, and I need a record GUID. That's it. So here I need this entity name. Okay, so entity name here I have passed here, column set is nothing, I can pass here dot to array, right? And that's it. So similarly, with the help of this method, if I have that record GUID, I can I can retrieve everything. So even here, this one also not needed. So return, okay, only these types of code, if you are writing, your code standard is very high. Why you are wasting so much time? Even if you need to retrieve single echo, you have to go with that one also. So okay, you have retrieved multiple record here, so like how to retrieve that one, even where you have written account UID, okay, entity. So here suppose you need to write entity here, en return equal to this one service comma and not record GUID. You need to get some new record here, global. So there is a, I have done overriding also here. So here entity name I have written, okay, suppose account set, what we have here, we can we utilize the same thing, this one, okay, account fields, account fields, here I need this account set. Okay, so which account GUID you need? account GUID. Let's utilize this GUID, and likewise. So now let's run this code. We are over the time. So now you have written all those information here. Even with the same function, you can retrieve all single record. So what you need to pass? Account collection, entity name, and account that record UID. That's it. With this function, even I can define those two functions globally, and I can call those functions across all the place. I don't want to write that code in such a manner so that I have to define that type of coding. This is not the right way to retrieve data. My function, my code should be in this structure only. Why I have written this particular code first? So that at least you can understand how my code works here. So now I have that expertise. I can write my common code so that I can reuse. So the best possibility or best way to write my code so that my code should be reusability of my code should be there in my code. So I have only those two types of functions so that I can utilize those functions to retrieve, either retrieve single or retrieve multiple. Same way I can do my delete function also. Same way I can do my retrieve multiple, delete, update also. That I can define here. Understood? Good. Okay, so are you okay to connect tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or are you taking? Yeah, it's this Saturday we are connecting anyhow. But what about tomorrow? Tell me. Okay, let's take some break tomorrow and try to utilize this time whatever you have, and try to do some practice whatever you have. Maybe some pendency, maybe some task which you need to supposed to complete. So at least whatever we covered so far, you have to create by your own, and you have to uh, complete this activity. Because I told you many times, this piece of code, if you are able to understand, you can easily complete your plugin related. Most of the people, they are saying I know everything, but plugin related I am very afraid. How I can do this one? So try to keep it simple. This is very simple. Just try to think how to. In plugin code nothing is there. Sometimes we have to retrieve, sometimes we have to do update, sometimes delete. That's it. Create, update, modify, nothing else apart from that. Okay. And how to debug, that is the main thing. If you are able to write your code in console quickly, write your code in such a manner so that you can even quickly convert into the plugin code and you have to deploy it. Okay. Thank you everyone here. Try to share your findings, your query, your thoughts so that we can utilize here. Let's meet on this Saturday. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.